Here, breaking news happening in Washington. We're expecting a federal grand jury to meet today to decide whether or not possibly to indict former President Donald Trump over alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Hi, everybody, and welcome in. Great to see you. I'm Bianca De La Garza.
And I'm John Huddy. Thanks for staying with us. We're expecting to hear testimony from at least one witness who was with the former president for much of the day on January 6th. Joining us live now on Capitol Hill with the latest details is congressional correspondent Kilmeny Duchardt. Kilmeny.
John and Bianca, a third indictment for the former president, looking imminent with a grand jury convening here in Washington, D.C. They're going to be hearing former special assistant to the former president, who we know will be testifying before this grand jury for at least a third time. Now, Russell was with the former president for most of the day on January 6th and testified before the House committee investigating the Capitol breach. He previously organized campaign rallies and Trump's travel while he was in office. He lives in Florida and continues to work for the former president today. Now, Jack Smith's investigation has centered around interference in the, quote, lawful transfer of power after the 2020 presidential election. Smith is reportedly honing in on an alleged scheme involving false electors when the former president challenged states that Biden won. Now, the former president reported on Sunday that he had received that target letter, in other words, foreshadowing and forecasting an indictment. It referred to three federal statutes pertaining to the deprivation of rights, conspiracy to defraud the government, and tampering with a witness. The latter, of course, was a statute that was enacted by Congress after the Civil War to prosecute individuals who would prevent former enslaved African Americans from voting. In modern day history now, though, it's used in a lot of voter fraud cases. Now, Trump has called the case a complete and total weaponization of law enforcement. He said that he expects a fourth indictment in Fulton County, Georgia, in a case that's led by the district attorney, Fannie Willis there. Meanwhile, of course, as we await those unfolding developments and the potential appearance of the former president here in Washington, D.C., Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz planning to introduce a resolution that would defund Jack Smith's investigations into the former president. Those are the developments we're keeping an eye on right now.
All right, Kilmeny, thank you. There's another breaking story just in minutes ago. We want to get your reaction, as I know you sat down recently with Senator Grassley, but Grassley has just moments ago released a key FBI document. We've been talking about this, the FD 1023. Now, this document's so critical because it purports to show that criminal scheme between a Ukrainian human source and Biden when he was serving as vice president. What are you hearing about this breaking story right now on the Hill just minutes ago, this 1023 being released?
Yeah. Bianca, this is absolutely bombshell news that the actual physical document has been released by Republican Senator Grassley's office. They've been after this document for quite some time now. They were allowed to view it by the FBI, both he and House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, as well as the ranking Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, Congressman Jamie Raskin. They had pushed to have the full oversight. You'll remember that the threat there was that the FBI's director, Christopher Wray, would be held in contempt of Congress if he didn't turn over that document. And again, let's go back. This is a document that alleges a bribery scheme involving then Vice President Joe Biden when his son Hunter Biden was on the board of Burisma. And there's alleged to be audio recordings from this confidential human source alleges that there are audio recordings between President Biden and this Burisma executive that he kept as a form of an insurance policy. Now, what we're learning from this document, Bianca, and it is redacted, is that this confidential human source inquired whether this executive was happy with the U.S. election results, that he was not happy that Trump won the election. He was concerned about Burisma's involvement with the Bidens. He had also told that Ukrainian executive, the confidential human source, that any payments to the Bidens would complicate matters and Burisma should hire, quote, some normal U.S. oil and gas advisors because the Bidens have no experience with that business sector. There's more details in that document about the interactions that took place between Hunter Biden allegedly, but the fact that they have this physical document that they have wanted to release to the American public is very significant news here on Capitol Hill.
It sure is, and we know a lot of reaction to it will be pouring in the next minutes and hours.
As we pour over
there. Yeah, it is pretty stunning what is in there, not redacted finally. Kilmeny Duchardt, thank you so much. Appreciate it. We'll check back in with you.
Thanks, Kilmeny.